So.
Now, moving along, we have Hime Shojo, which I would consider to be an excellent counterpart to the Seiho. This is basically a dwarf red. Now, it's going to be a little bit more doming than the Seiho, but a compact, dense, dark red. And it's one of the true dark reds. It's one of the only Hime forms that stays deep, deep, deep red.
Now, the new growth flushes on Hime Shojo can be a little bit larger, but the old growth on Hime Shojo are extremely tiny foliage, which makes it great for bonsai because often you're working with that older growth. And Hime Shojo being that tiny, tiny red is an awesome plant. One of the reasons I really like Hime Shojo as well is because it holds its color red in more shaded locations, which is a really unique characteristic for a dwarf red that's very multi-stemmed with small foliage. So if you're going for a more shaded location for your bonsai, which often people do, this is one that should typically hold its color pretty well for you, even in those more shaded areas.
This is already a much more compact, deep red. So if you're wanting to do a bonsai, say of an Ashperporum or of a bloodgood, you know, this is going to be a much better starting place for you. You're going to already have smaller foliage. You're already going to have that denser overall habit, and it's going to make an awesome counterpart to something like Seiho or something like that Murasaki Kiyohime that we mentioned. It's going to give you the only deep, deep red, compact, small leaf dwarf that kind of fits that aesthetic. So it's a perfect candidate for that. Shojo is a reoccurring word you'll see a lot in some Japanese, especially in Romanji, and it basically means dark red. And so it's going to have that compact habit with that dark red habit to it. Goes to a real bold scarlet red in the fall as well. But because of its habit, it's also a great candidate for container gardening. So it makes it an easy one to get into that bonsai aesthetic. Even if you're not a bonsai expert, it's going to lend itself well to being more of that traditional bonsai style habit right out the gate.